Hello, crafty friends. This is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to part 2 of crafting with you. I have a dimensional stuck on my finger. Today we're going to be creating this card using the Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper. And it has so much crafty goodness in it. The little basket full of yarn, some spools of thread, some little buttons, some hearts, some bling, a little stitched hoop, and a pair of scissors. So we're going to have a lot of fun just layering up that card. We're going to be using this stamp with the little yarn, You Inspire Me, and lots of these dies. I've already pulled out the dies we're going to use, so you can take out your bundle. Here's some dies. Let's go ahead while we're here and cut maybe some extra. I didn't even use the star and the flower, so let's cut some extra spools because I like how they give you extra spools. And I like how they give you little star. Oh boy, that's going to be a hard one to get off. So in the heart. So I'm going to take out all that stuff, and that way, as I crank through, I can get a lot out of my cranks. When I say crank through, I'm talking about the cranking through this die cutting machine. We're going to do that part first because that's a little bit more of a time consuming part. Now here's the annual catalog. Oh, wrong side of the catalog. Here we go. It's on page 91, the Crafting With You bundle. And this time you really want the bundle. I mean, a lot of times you could get away with just the stamp set, but this bundle has so much that the stamp set doesn't have. And in other words, lots of dies that go, like not just the dies that cut out these stamps, but it has a lot of extra dies, like the scissor dies, the hearts, the thread, the basket, the embossed basket. So there's so much more in the dies. Here's a few examples of what that was created with it. You see this little paper trimmer, a little easel. Oh, so much fun. I actually just got so excited making these little scissors. Of all the things on the card, I'm most excited about the little pair of scissors because you can just do so much today. Oh, yes, kit. You mentioned the kit. Thank you, Melissa. Oh, I need to mention that because tomorrow's the last day to sign up for the kit. Now, in part 1 of this series, I went over the kit. I'll just quickly do it. I'm not going to open all these packets again just because I need room on my table. But you're going to take out the piece of Flirty Flamingo from your package of cardstock. So if you get this kit, you have all this stuff in your kit. Full sheets of cardstock, so you can make 2 of what I'm showing you. Or you could save the other half of the paper for later. You have Flirty Flamingo, Soft Seafoam, and Pretty Peacock, because these 3 colors go with this paper, which I am going to open up. Then you have Crushed Curry, Night of Navy, and Balmy Blue, which goes with another paper I'm going to open up. Or I won't open up, but I'm going to show you. It's a new one. It's out right now. It's an online release called Meandering Meadows, Designer Series paper. Then you have other colors. You have a peekaboo treat bag. You have black and white peekaboo treat bag, craft note card and envelope, acetate card box. Okay, I ran out of regular cardstock, so the next person is getting the thick white cardstock. I usually put thin cardstock in the kit, but if I were to substitute something, I give you something better or even extra stuff. So that's the cardstock part of your kit. Then you get specialty papers, more Dazzle specialty paper, mini dimensionals, foam adhesive strips, masking paper, and a window sheet. This one just doesn't have all the stickers on it yet. Meandering Meadows and 3-color glimmer paper. We used this already, the glimmer paper, last week. And then you get Hello Irresistible paper and some Garden Walk paper. We used the Garden Walk paper last week. Then I thought I'm going to add some extra rhinestones to everybody's kit. I put 2 sheets of vellum in there and extra rhinestones because you're going to need some extras for your scissors. You can use these rhinestones or the other rhinestones that come in your kit. You get ribbons that my mom helps me put on little spools, which is nice. So there's 3 kinds of ribbon and some linen thread. You get a bunch of die cuts. Die cut with love. And then you get some bling. So I'm using this bling today for the scissors. This little silver piece of bling because I know that it's available and you might not have your kit yet. So that's what you can use. It's called the 4-pack sparkle. They're called sparkle gems. And then we have these little tinsel gems. So there's lots in your kit, plus, some candy treat, et cetera, et cetera. So today, I'm going to take out this part. I'm going to use the adhesive sheet. So I want you to take out your adhesive sheet from your kit. It's pretty cool. They come in 12 by 6. We're going to be using that. And I want you to take out your mini dimensionals because you're going to be using to pop up some things. All right. And we need our seam binding ribbon. We're going to use this soft seafoam ribbon because it's one of the coordinating colors. Now let's look at this paper and see which pieces you need to pull out for this project. And that's just talking about, oops, I wrote my mom made a mini tote for you, but she didn't make one for this one. Oops. Anyone that got this kit, I'm sorry, I was copy and pasting. She doesn't make a mini tote every month, or we would go completely broke and we wouldn't be in business anymore because the fabric costs more. We're like giving those away. Anyway, sorry about that. I need to fix that on my sheet. All right, so anyway, she does about every other time or a few times a year, she puts an actual fabric bag in your kit. She did that for the swaggers. The swaggers, the ones who got the swag bag in my card on Blue Club. Anyway, this is the Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper. Isn't this pretty? So we're going to be using the Pretty Peacock ink. We're going to need this piece here. It has some soft seafoam and Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon in it. We'll use this piece here. It's a soft seafoam piece for the background. I love the texture. We're going to use this one here. This one is the pattern that's just like this one, but it's the Flirty Flamingo one. I'm just showing you the rest of these. Now you could take the rest of these. This one's good for cutting our sentiment on. Now, I already have some scraps, so I may use something that's already open. Let's see. This paper is, by the way, it's really gorgeous. It has, like, all these flowers. I did a whole thing on it, and I have a couple things to show you made of this paper. That would be cute to stamp on as well. So I'm just going to stamp on maybe a couple of my scraps instead of using a whole big piece of paper. If the embroidery hoop fits on there. You have a little embroidery hoop one. Anywho, that's the rest of the, let's not get distracted. Let's show you the rest of the paper. And we have this piece. I mean, just gorgeous, right? Oops, so that's part of our card project. So let's pull these away. And now you're going to take this die and cut out a circle. So I think, yeah, that'll fit. Yippee! So I already have another one cut out. So we're going to stamp onto that with really dark ink. So we can go ahead and cut a couple circles with that. We don't need the embroidery hoop part, so I'm not worried about that. And now you need, so for this part, you're just going to use your little scraps. So let's see if we can use the backs of any of these. Sort of. You're just going to use some of the sides of your papers that are darker. I'm using scraps like that for the scissors and for the handles. And of course, you can just cut off little. Now, whenever I say scraps, leave at least a 4-inch piece, because that way you have enough so that you can make a card later. Okay, when I cut these, I'll show you. So let's not use those yet. Let's not use these yet. We're just going to do some die cutting. So I'm glad you got your kit, Janet. That's awesome. I didn't send them all out. Anyone who ordered a kit in the last few days, I wasn't able to send it out yet. I'm waiting for one more shipment. It's supposed to come Monday. But I might just send out your kit with whatever I have in it. Like it would only be like something I could substitute. I think I have enough kits. I actually ran out of basic white cardstock, except for scraps. Like I actually ran out. Even the 12 by 12. Stampin' Up was out of it recently. Like they actually ran out of the basic white cardstock. And then I got the thick one and I got the 12 by 12, which was harder for me to cut for my kits, and then I ran out of that too. All right, so we're going to use base plate number 1. Thin die adapter plate number 2, another plate number 3, and it explains how to do die cutting right here on this sandwich. This is your die cutting sandwich. It says it right on the tray. And then we're going to lay these down. You can cut up to 3 at a time, but I recommend maybe just 2 at a time. We'll go ahead and do the little hoop because we really just need the inner circle, but we'll go ahead and do 2 of those. We're going to do some scissors. We're going to need to do them both with the dark and the light, because we need handles for our scissors, so you have to cut the scissors twice. I wish they would have given us more scissors. And then just go ahead and add all your little spools and crafty goodness to your pile. Here, let's just add these little guys, some buttons, some hearts, and we'll run that through, and then we'll do it again with some darker paper. Let's just do that. Okay, we're going to cover this up and run it through. So when I say don't waste a good crank, you have your paper going through, and you just can cut a lot of stuff at once. Here are my little scraps from earlier, and you can see I was cutting a bunch of stuff at once. So now you're going to take your die cutting tool, or not die cutting, take your pick tool, right tool for the job. Well, actually, they came right out. If they don't come right out, then just poke them out. But remember that you use two pieces. Well, sometimes you use two pieces of paper. So if you did, you want to separate them. Okay, good, good. I'm just going to pop all these little buttons out. So it's craft fair season. I'm very busy making crafts to sell. And I found out that there was another craft fair that I didn't know about in my area, my local area. So I wrote to them and they said they were full. But I'm a positive thinker, so I think that, and mine's not till next weekend, but I don't know. Maybe this weekend they're going to write to me and say on Friday night, hey, someone canceled for Saturday. So I want to be ready in case they do, but I'm not worried about it in case they don't. If they say there's no room for another vendor, I'm okay because my mom and I will just be more ready the next week. And we're still going to go to that one as shoppers to support it because it's our sister church. Like our church is having one on a different date, but we want to support our sisters from that church. And I say sisters because there's some men too, but it's mostly the women's group that runs these things. It's a fall bazaar. So anywho, I just have so many aprons that it's very hard to put them all on Etsy for my mom. And, you know, it's just because you got to take pictures and videos and all this. It's just so much easier when we sell them at the bazaars. Those things sell better in person. People can try them on and see what size they are and everything. So I do sell a lot through her aunt's aprons, her group on Facebook. Way more than I sell on Etsy lately, just by posting pictures. See, aren't these little things cute? But, you know, it's so much easier in person. It's just done. You're done. Okay, there's the scissors. Now, as I was making scissors earlier, and we will use the adhesive sheets to make the next pair of scissors. Or not this pair, but when we make the next pair of handles. As I was doing this, I thought these would, because we have to cut these anyway. So let me tell you why I'm thinking of it. I was like, since you cut these off because you need the handles to be a different color, let me show you that in the card. These would make great little noses for, here, let me do it again. Carrot noses, right here, for your snowmen. And sometimes I make snowman soup and I have to make little snowman noses. And I use my scan and cut, but now I can have easy noses. So these are kind of orange already. You can make them, you can color them a better orangey color. But that's just one thing. And then here's our little embroidery hoop. Super cute. We don't need that. Let's put that away. I'm just putting that over off to the side. Don't need that. We need these because you can stamp onto those. So make yourself some carrot noses if you need to, if you don't have a scan and cut. That's a good thing to do. So I'm working on, as I'm creating craft fair items, I'm also creating a course to teach everybody step by step how to make those crafts in a real organized way with PDFs and everything, so that they have the measurements and it's like much easier. Okay, we're gonna do this again with the scissors. Just go ahead and cut 2 pairs of scissors. Just run that through, and since we have the outer part of the spools, could do some inside. Here we could do some more outside. We don't really need any more hearts. Perhaps a couple of buttons. Here's the button. I like that they put the 2 dies together for the buttons. Actually, this is going to be good for with the adhesive sheet, those kind of things. All righty. Now, let's take the adhesive sheet that we just pulled out of our kit, and I want to show you how to use it. I'll pull this out. So for the handles are going to go on top of the dark part of the scissors. So for the dark part of the scissors, they're going to be popped up. So you need to use adhesive on the back of these because they're going to be popped up. And you'll see me make a lot of extra things. So later on in the series, you won't have to learn how to make the scissors again. We'll just start using scissors on all the rest of our projects. And to make the scissors, I'll refer you back to part 2 of this series, because we try not to do the same thing over and over if we've already done it. But this part I want to show you, because you say you want to make your handles, you could take a piece of adhesive sheet, and it's double-sided sticker. It's double-sided sticker. I'm just getting a lighter color that's not the same color as the bottom of the scissors are going to be the pretty peacock color. Right? Actually, there's already should be a line in here. Oh, not a line. Nope, the line was on the other part. Okay, so here we go. Peeling it off. Okay, it's sticky, and I put it on there, like so. So now what I have is, this is done. There's nothing on there. It's a double-sided sticker sheet, these adhesive sheets. They're just so great for die cutting. So put that down, and now, gonna use your scissor die again. It's gonna end up making stickers out of the bottom part and the top part. So decide on which color you want the top part. So for example, the top part should be lighter than the bottom part, right? So we'll make that the top part. And now at the same time, since we are making stickers, we may as well make some hearts and some stars. And not the bottom part of the spool. Right? This part of the spool. We want this part because they'll stick that way. And by the way, let me just kind of make sure there's, see, I want to make sure that these are not stuck together for my little project here. Okay, let's see. Come on. Come on, Eileen. All right, let me find, here it is. Those are right there. The only disadvantage of using the adhesive sheet versus the die cutting I just did earlier is you're doing adhesive sheets. You can only do one sheet at a time. I mean, one sheet of DSP because you put adhesive on the back of it. There we go, put the little buttons there. Wait do you see the magic of making stickers? And I'm just separating all these buttons because if you don't separate them now, what happens is you stick one to your card and then the other one falls off. Like you forget you have two layers if you don't separate them now. Once they're separated, they'll stay separated in your bucket of crafty goodness. And before you throw your scraps away, make sure you get all those little dies off of there. Okay, let's crank this through and I'll show you the sticker. So I have other pairs of scissors already made, but you're just gonna make one pair. Let's push that over. All right, so if you're new to my channel, you just never know what's going to happen. So we just sometimes improvise, and sometimes we copy the same card from earlier, and sometimes we make something totally different, but I'm going to see how it goes. So here we go. You got your carrot noses if you want. And that's the tips of these scissors. And now get the darker piece, I mean. Let's see if it's not doubles. Okay. And here we go. Watch the magic of the adhesive sheet. You're going to love this. You're going to peel this off. And you're going to stick it onto the scissors. Dun, dun, dun. And now you have a handle for your scissors. And you didn't have any goopy glue sticking all over you. How easy is that? So that's why you want to use adhesive sheets when you're die cutting. For the parts that you're going to adhere, of course, you're not going to use adhesive sheets on the bottom part of the scissors because you're going to be popping those up with dimensionals. And that wouldn't work. And put this part on there. All right, let's get this on there. Oops. And of course, you can move it, but move it quick because it's an adhesive sheet and it'll stick really well. Okay, there you go. And then you can put this part on the bottom. This part with the little dot is on the top. I mean, it's just the cutest thing ever. I absolutely love this. Let's put it there for contrast. Oh, how cute. And now you're going to get your glue. This part you can use glue for because you're just putting it behind. I just do the middle part like that. And then leave them open. They look cuter open. Just kind of tilt it the way you want it and then hold it. Let's open them just slightly more. Yay! Our scissors are done and they're so cute. And now we have a couple more things. We're going to do our stamping. Before we do our card assembly, we have to get all these little guys out. So these guys are our stickers. And we can go ahead and do these little spools. It's easy. It's easier, I should say. Here's my advice. So say I'm going to say, like, because you remember we cut a bunch out that aren't stickers. Then we cut a bunch out that were stickers. So My advice is stick them right away. Just grab your spools and stick your thread onto your spool right away. Because otherwise you won't remember which die cuts are your stickers and which ones are not. Maybe they go a certain way. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They look cute either way. So you're just going to stick the thread onto your spool right as you peel the back of the sticker off. Done. No oozing glue all over it. And see that? That's what I talked about, the double part. If you don't separate them, they come apart later and you're like, where'd that come from? There's a double, it was a double die. Okay, now these guys, what I'm going to do, and you'll see, just because I do this a lot, I'm leaving them over there because they're stickers. So like we could take them off and throw them right on our project later. Now, next is I'm going to take, these dies are so small that I'm just taking them and moving them off to the side. Where's my little magnet bowl when I need it? So I'm getting rid of all those so we can do our stamping. There's another, we're going to pop those out. So get your little bucket of crafty goodness ready, and just, it'll look like, let me see. You know what I mean? You need a little bucket to put things in. These are just extras I have from different things I'm working on. So find yourself a little bucket or tray. I think I'm going to use this one. That's what I'm going to use. I'm always buying little cases. So let's take all of these little, well, we already have our scissors, so we don't need those. Right? And then let's see, we may or may not have enough spools, so let's do a couple spools with, because you don't know which side you're going to need with the different colors. So let's do a couple with the flirty flamingo in the back. And you just put a little bit of glue there. And then take your contrasting color, right? Like this one, the pretty peacock, and slap it on there. All right, good. So just get all your little stuff ready. Throwing away that piece, unless we figure out what to do with that. Not sure about how many buttons we'll need yet. Don't need that piece. Don't need the little nose. Okay, extra scissor handles. Extra scissors. Oh, put the die over there. See what I mean? It's just, otherwise you have yourself a big old mess. I think I'm going to use this one to stamp onto. Extra scissors. Okay, so let's do our stamping. That one had glue on it. And get rid of it. So I'm thinking I might use my silicone mat because this is not very even. Because the paper's flopping all over the place. So let's stick that down. I'm saving even these little pieces, like I said, because I think I can make them into snowman noses. So on your stamp set you have, you inspire me. No inking up the edges, no need to do that. Last week we used the hug one. Sending you a handmade hug. So you just stick your stamp flat side up and press it onto your stamping block. This is a stamping block D, and you could either do that or you could just stamp right into it. Stamp onto a piece of paper first or a mat. Let me get rid of this die. If I'm going to stamp onto the mat first, move those out of the way. All right, it came out nice. And then I can stamp these little circles. Hold it for a few seconds. Oh, yes. You inspire me. It came out nice. So the reason it came out nice is it's a dark, get rid of that start, contrasting color. So nice. I made an extra for my bucket of crafty goodness. That's the only time we need that color. We're almost done with the die cutting. We do have a little bit of yarn to cut. So let's see. I just want to make one more spool that's a light background spool. That way, I have enough, for the different colors for my project. Now this little side has putty on it. So you can pick these up, right? First of all, you got to make sure it's on the right side. Pick it up. I love that the little thread is already textured. And plunk it right on there. All right, extra spools. We're going to have fun with those throughout the series. But now you know how to make those too, so we don't need to make those again. You just have some made. Oh, there was already one made. Oops. That glue, did I put glue on there? I thought I put glue on it. It's slipping right. Slip sliding away. All right, there you go. All right, now we need the buttons. We need some other crafty goodness, so I'm just going to move those over. We need a little piece of basic white now to stamp our yarn. And we're going to be using the soft sea foam for the yarn, the little basket of yarn. Thank you for coming on so late tonight. I see a lot of you are here, 16 are watching, and I have 6 likes. So do me a favor if you're one of the 16 watching and you haven't pushed the like button. If you like the video, then like it, which I'm hoping you like it because you're still here. I'm looking for the, okay, here it's already mounted, the little ball of yarn. Now this is called distinctive stamping. So that means that the shading is built into your stamp. Pretty cool. Okay, I was just using this, so I think I'm just stamp right on here. I think it should work because I just used it right before this video. That was like a little finishing touch. I tried Pretty Peacock stamping with it, but it didn't come out nice. This one came out nice because it actually looks like yarn because it's a light color. So I recommend a light color so it actually looks like yarn. Because if you use a dark color, it actually came out kind of yucky. All right, so we have our cute little stuff. These we know are stickers, right? So we're going to put those, keep those there. And the last thing we want to do is put this on here. And we forgot to make a basket. So that was a good thing I checked. So it's not the last one. We'll make a basket at the same time. We'll make a little pink basket. Actually, here, this one might make a better color basket. And then you know what? We'll have a, no, that one's not good because it won't be a sticker. We don't want it to be a sticker. I'm going to cut out a little piece like this color. I think that'll make a cute basket. But I don't want the back to be a sticker. In other words, I didn't want to use this piece because remember, this is our sticker. And I want this to be popped up with dimensionals. So that's why I'm picking the basket there. All right, the basket is already embossed for you. How cool is that die? So put that there. And then we need this little guy. So a trick for you there. Little piece of paint, low-tack tape. Low-tack tape or painter's tape. And there's the little ball of yarn. And you're going to tape that on there like so. Top plate. Hopefully it doesn't make that move. Look how many ribbons I have. I'm decorating for Christmas. That's how many ribbons are on my table. I keep knocking into them with the handle of my... I didn't want to move everything else far because then I have to set up for that new project again. All right, there we go. That came out cute because it looks like a little basket. It even has little lines like the little basket. Ooh, that's cute. All right, so that we're good. I'm going to put these dies over there just so I don't lose them again. And now I can shut the machine. I forgot about those little points, and then we can make the card. So you need your pieces of designer series paper. Now, I already have the card base, but I'll write down the measurements for you. Your bottom line is you got an A2 card. It's going to open up this way. I mean, you know, when you make 2 of them at once, I'm saying. So it'll open up this way for our card, but I'm talking about when you make 2 at once. You got an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. You can score it at 4 1/4, and then you can actually cut 2 of them at the same time. So if you're not sure about that, I've cut lots of card bases on this channel. I think I might sometimes need to go back to basics. But we're going to just move on from there. We're going to say that's the A2 card. So this card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So follow me now. We're going to do this because that's 5 1/2. We're going to make this one 5 1/4. Okay? 5 1/4. Now, I decided to give really large borders for this because it was a very crafty card. So what I did is I did 5 1/4 by 4 for the outside layer. And then I went a whole inch smaller for each consecutive layer. So if that one was 5 1/4 by 4, the next layer was 4 1/4 by 3. Following? I cut an inch off of each side. So 4 1/4 by 3. Okay, just write down 30 minutes into the video. She gave you the measurements. Okay, write that down so that way you know to go back to that part. Although I'd like you to watch the whole thing. It does help. The algorithm likes me when you watch my whole video. And then I'm going to do 3 1/4, right? By, you guessed it, 2 by 2 inches. Because now I have an inch, then I have all of these big old borders, right? So check this out. Then you got nice wide areas, a nice layered card. And then when we put our cute little thing in there, it still has a border around it. That's why I came up with this size and this design. Because this little embroidery hoop, I wanted it to have a nice different color background behind it for contrast. Now we're going to take our soft seafoam piece and we're going to put that on this second piece. So just go ahead and get your rolling adhesive out. Rolling adhesive, like your Seal Plus. And go ahead and put that across. Like so. This is called seam binding ribbon. So this ribbon is not very, it's kind of translucent. It's not very, it doesn't cut very well. You got to kind of pull it when you cut it. It's even with my awesome paper snips, it's like, why aren't you cutting very well? There it goes. That one's better. And then I go behind it like so. Ashamed to use such a pretty piece in the background. And then fold that over. And then what I do is I go over it once more with the rolling adhesive. And that layer is done and this layer is done. So this gets attached to here like so. Now before you go on and do anything else and do another whole layer, it's good to attach this piece to the card itself while it's pretty flat. So put that on here. So you got a 1/4 inch margin because the card was 5 1/2 and the first layer was 5 1/4. And then after that, you got that you got the inch around, well, or half because of, we did an inch, but it's like a half. Nice border and another nice border. And you have some symmetry. So part of design principles are there's lots of design principles. And the one, we have contrast is one of them. And I'm always talking about making things contrast. But another thing is the way you align things and your symmetry, because you want, whether you're doing something digital or in person, you want the people's eyes to move in a certain way. Oh, I love it. Now we're going to turn this card into that just by, using our stickers and a little bit of glue and a little bit of dimensionals. In your kit, you have the mini dimensionals. We're going to use both the mini and the black. I'm just using some black dimensionals. That's what I have. To use mini dimensionals, they fit behind things better. Let's see if I can find some. Or use whatever you have. I know they were there. Here they are. Here you go. So we're going to turn this over. So you want to do that first because that's your center, that's your focal point of the whole card. But always double check that you're opening the card the right way. Okay, next cute thing would be, we got to grab our tray of crafty goodness back here and start designing it with the tray because we have all these little pieces. So I use my other card as an inspiration. So kind of just start laying them out. We're going to put that there. And you need a couple mini dimensionals behind the scissors. So put those right there next to each other. That's the only place you can hide them is the middle. So they're really going to stick up. And let's see if I want to keep that in the same place. I do like it up there. Let's see if I want to put it. No, I actually like it the way it was. We're going to leave well enough alone and stick it where it was, because I like the way it's pointing down. Now, these guys are little stickers. This is what I was telling you. So as you take them off, you can use them right away. And you're just going to decide what color they are, and that's how you know where to put them, because they're going to contrast. So we have a sort of a light color button here, and it wants to go there. Let's see where we're going to put it, though. I think it's going to go there, no matter where it wants to go. Let's see. Contrast. Okay, we have another button, little square button, and it's light color, so we can put it, let's see. How about right there? Ooh, he's so cute. All these little buttons. So those are our stickers. I'm putting the dies over there before I lose them. And then after this, I'm putting them all back in their case. Imagine that. They're not going into my magnetic bowl. They're going into their case. Okay, we have this little flower and stuff, so this is going to be fun. I haven't used this one yet. I just took this one out, this die. So we could put, here, let's put that little flower up there. And we have a little star. This card's going to be better than the first card because of all this fun stuff on here. Now, sometimes I have to grapple with, like, should something be busy? Like, when I was making my podcast logo and stuff, like, should it be busy and crafty and fun, or should I keep it simple? And I sometimes kind of go with the busy and crafty and fun. And I did ask some people to review it for me, and half, like, actually I did a poll, and in this podcast group I'm in, and like half of them said, oh no, just make it only your picture. And the other half were like, oh, it's for crafters. Make it with all the crafty goodness in the background, which kind of looks like this card. It's like very, very busy. So I went with the half that said, just go with the crafts. And sometimes I have to take them off if I'm doing an interview podcast and I have another person's picture. Then I have to like take all the little crafty goodness off and put just our pictures on there because it got too busy. But I mean, it's like sometimes I violate design principles because I think things look cute. So there is a lot of subjectivity in art. And so you can really do whatever you want. I'm just keeping the basket where it goes. I think I'm keeping my original design. Sometimes midway through my YouTube, I just change up the whole second design. But this time I kind of I'm digging it. I'm digging the first one. So, and you see how I'm putting some stuff on dimensional. Like that's not a dimensional because it's a sticker, right? Then if it's not a sticker and it's a little spool, then it's going on a dimensional because it's not a sticker. So we're going to pop it up. These are mini dimensional, so you got to get them under there so they hide under there. You don't want your dimensionals sticking out. So we'll just put a few of these. Okay, this is a good contrast, so we'll put that. I'll put one of those up there. Let's see what color this one could go down there. Ooh, so cute. And I still have more hearts, and I still have more buttons. And I could just use glue because we don't have any more stickers. So sometimes you just put a little pile of glue. This is like an easier way when you have such delicate things and you get your little button and you touch it to the glue with your putty, and you sometimes can get it off the putty. Sometimes not, but at least it doesn't get all over your hands. So we'll stick that guy there. And I still managed to get glue on my hands, but it's all good. We're crafters. I'll do this color. Stick that into the pile of glue. And stick him over there. So I really like this paper because it reminds me of like stitching. These little dots look like it could be like little stitches. And the only thing we'd need is some hearts. So let's put a heart there. Have a heart. Put that out in the margin because it's just because of contrast, I'm putting it in the margin. Okay, oops. Oh, if you get adhesive on things, you can use a handy adhesive eraser. But I think I smeared it with ink. I don't think that was adhesive. I think that was me smearing it with ink. But you know what? It looks crafty. And a little heart. We'll put a little heart out on the opposite margin. You know what? I'm just going to put a dot on the page. It's easier. Put a dot on the page. And then pick this guy up with the putty and stick it over there. And then lastly, we need our bling. See, it was so much easier using stickers than it is using glue. In my humble opinion. We need Wink of Stella and we need our little bling. So you each got a row of these. So you each got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You each have 12. So I think the little silver one looks really good right there on your scissors. Come on, get centered. It has to go right there, and it's like kind of, I'm blocking it. So what's coming up next, right after we do Wink of Stella, is I'm going to show you some other projects that are just out of this world that were created with this suite. I'm going to stick a piece of bling over here and a piece of bling down here. So I just do three little rhinestones. So fun. And then I'm going to take the brush, and I'm just making everything shine. As long as your ink is dry here, otherwise you can sort of put dots on it. But if your ink's not dry, don't go back and forth, just go like that. But my ink should be really dry. I also put a little Wink of Stella around the corners. So anyway, before I show you the projects, I will write down, in any little space I can find on this mat, I'll write down the measurements for you. So you can repeat this card. And then later they'll be in the description of the video. Or else Janet will have them as a comment, or somebody will write them down. And they will go into my recipe book that I'm working on too. Come on, Wink of Stella. You got this. Don't run out on me now. So when you squeeze it, it should come out the side. You can actually add a little bit of alcohol and re-inker to these and change colors and make them sparkle for the season. And there's something called like a shimmer paint or little thing that you could put in there. All right, I think I'm good. I think I got all the areas with the little star. All right, so that, you might not be able to see it with the light, but it has lots of shine to it. So that is your 3, there's your 3 little rhinestones. And then I didn't even count the number of embellishments. I just added them the way I saw fit. Okay, let me move that guy over there. And then all of these little guys, before I write the measurements, are going into my bucket of crafty goodness. Which is, and these little pieces get thrown away. So this is just right here. Something gets snapped together. So hello, Melissa and Phil. And thank you for the extra likes. We're up to 10, so that's pretty cool. Thank you, guys. All right. And, okay, we said Melissa from Texas, right? And then hello, Lynn. And Deborah from New South Wales, Australia, who's always faithfully here when I do my late night crafting videos, because you're on the other time around the world. I guess it's morning for you and it's late night for me. Yep. Hello, Lisa from Critters Ink and Designs, and Kathy, who just got her cast off. I saw your before and after picture with your cast off, which is awesome. Congrats on that. So now you can really craft effectively with your cast off. So that's Kathy from Backyard Stamper. This card was an A2 card that's scored at 4 1/4. And it's 5.5 tall, but of course we're not really tall, because even though it would be tall, you can make a card like that. It's really going to be this way. I tend to love making cards like that stand up, especially these little works of art that you make. They can stand up easy. And of course you're going to put the basic white on the inside as well. So this piece I'm telling you here is not only going to be the DSP, but it's also going to be the inside white piece that you're going to cut with either the cardstock I sent you or any inside white piece you have. You can do that later. And that is 5 1/4 by 4 inches high. All right, still saying hello. So if you haven't said hello yet, jump on so we could say hi to you. Hello, Diane from Prescott, Arizona. Awesome. And Janet's talking about receiving her Crafting with You kit. Thank you, Janet. The next piece of DSP, we're just going to keep on going 1 inch smaller. So we have 4 1/4 by 3 inches. And the next piece of DSP is even smaller, where we go 3 1/4 by 2 inches. And that's where I came up with it, because then you're going to put the DSP equals Hello Irresistible. And You Inspire Me goes right in there in your circle with your little stitching. Oops, Irresistible. Oh my gosh, I can't even spell this. Irresistible. How come I can't spell this? E-S. Okay. I-S-T-I-B-L-E. All right. That's the Hello Irresistible DSP. And that's about it. And then the ribbon, we don't need to like worry about that. You're just taking the ribbon and putting it around the second layer, however much you need to tuck in the back. We're using, I should have written Flirty Flamingo. Those of you that are not familiar with Stampin' Up! Colors, we have such cute color names. And it really makes a difference that you coordinate your projects. So if you're like, mine doesn't look that cute, and mine looks all like, I don't know, what's the word? It clashes, like your colors clash. Then you're not using coordinating colors. Our graphic designers spend a lot of time and research coordinating colors, making complementary colors that go into these projects. So that's the measurement, so you can redo that. All right, so it was really, yes, she's saying she used glue. Kathy's saying she used glue and it got really messy. I'm about to show them your cards too, Kathy. Those are so nice. Well, I have one of them, I think. Thank you. And hello, Charlene. Nice to see you. My mom loves this set. She does. She's like thinking it's really cool with the sewing and everything. Oh, that paper, pumpkin grid paper, yes. Sure, you see the grid paper? Here, let me grab the whole pack if you want to see the grid paper. You can buy this in the supply section. Okay, here's a whole pack of it. So it's called because our theme or one of our campaigns, like a marketing campaign, is that getting paper pumpkin kits is better than a box full of puppies. I don't know what's better than a box full of puppies, but our paper pumpkin kits are pretty darn close. So that's what the grid paper looks like, but it fits perfectly in my trays, like halfway. All right, I'm grabbing these examples of other things that are just going to blow you away. And this card is one of the cards that inspired me. I made this during a shoebox swap. So they gave us all the pieces and we had to make it together. And once I made these scissors, I was hooked. When they cut them out and put them in a little bag for us, and we made our scissors ourselves later. We just glued them together. And I was just so impressed. Hey, you know what? I think I made the handle down a little lower than it should be. So that's interesting. I mean, the handle's supposed to be up higher, but it doesn't really matter. Do you see that I don't care? I think it still looks cute, but you could put the handle up higher. Next time we'll try to put the handle up higher. Actually, no, I didn't hear. I don't know. Do you guys think it should be up higher or not? Because look, there's a line on the die. Okay, let's look at a pair of scissors. Let me look at a different pair of scissors. Of course, my next pair of scissors is the same as my first pair of scissors. I'm gonna look at one that's from another brand, not just Stampin' Up. Hey, I did it right. All right, I did it right. So that you are supposed to put this down into the line of the die. So there's a line on the die where you make this. So this handle was cut off too soon. But anyway, either way, I just got sidetracked there. Nothing on the inside. There was no navy. This is the one that Kathy sent me. Oh, this one was designed, I think, by Susan. It was part of this shoebox swap. Well, I don't remember, though. This is Kathy Schmidt. She's here watching this. And we're going to be making a card similar to this with the little art scene. So you're going to cut out the art scene out of the designer series paper like you're doing the art. Or else we could just put your Inspire Me on the tripod. But I do like how you can put the little pens like you're painting, and then you Inspire Me on the inside. Not the same colors because we don't have this cardstock in your kit, but isn't that cool? So she inspired me by sending that to me. So now I'll be inspiring you guys by using that. So this one was made by Shardine Uhas, and it was a swap. Oh my goodness. How awesome, right? So it's like a little work of art, and it stands up. It folds flat. Look at all this crafty goodness. And I think I might start saving. I haven't been doing this. And I mean, I've thrown away hundreds of these, but I think it'd be really cute to start saving these little pieces from your Stampin' Up! Products, right? See the little Stampin' Up! Logos on things? Because look what she did with them. She put the Stampin' Up! Logo on the trimmer and on the little books. So I was thinking, I have tons of these little things, but I've been throwing them away. I mean, I'm a hoarder, but I don't save like the cardboard for my kit, but I think that's cute. And look how many little buttons she put on the front. And the little basket full of spools. And she was using the ink colors. Oh my goodness, I forgot there's a little card here. She even put something on the inside of the card. I could see something in there. And the other side has the little sewing machine. And then it says to push the easel. Wait, push easel back before collapsing card. Yeah, because the easel comes out and stands up. And look at all the splatter paint on it. It's just such a cool, such a cool way of using this. I mean, if you're not inspired by this kind of stuff, I don't know. You're not a real crafter if that doesn't make you go, oh my goodness. Like, that's big time hardcore. Okay, and these are awesome too. So these two are the same. I thought they were different. I keep forgetting the name of this card, Kathy. Not pinwheel. There's another name for this style of card. I keep calling it a pinwheel. Oh my goodness, look how cute. The little sewing machine and the fabric coming out with the button on it and little spools. And that's panel 1, sending you a handmade hug with the embroidery hoop. Right? Panel 2, we got the little place for your message. Panel 3, we got the trimmer. Life is better when you're crafting with the scissors and the paper. And nice little card layers. Tower pinwheel, thank you. So it is a pinwheel, but it's a tower pinwheel. And then you got the little art side. So very, very cool fold. I think you'd probably have to use another stamp because it's so packed with crafty goodness. Love that. Now, if you want to make these, that's great. We just, in 1 hour in our videos, we're not going to have enough time to make these, but I'm showing it to you every time because I believe that you can make this just with all the techniques we're going to do. Because like this is like 4 cards in one. We'll make a card with the trimmer, but that'll be 1 card. And then we'll make a card with the sewing machine, right? That's another card. Okay, here's another swap card I made with in the shoebox swap. I believe I made it or it was a swap. I don't remember, but I got this when I was in South Carolina at the event. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what we made in part 1. And then I want to show you something else you can make with this paper. So part 1 of this series, because we're only on part 2, remember. Part 1 of this series, we designed this card using the Garden Walk DSP that's in your kit. So you have a few sheets of this in your kit. And then you have the vellum that goes behind it. See, I put some vellum in your kit. And then we used Calypso Coral for the flowers and some garden green, no marker in there. We used some of that 3-color shimmer paper. Shoebox swap, thank you. We got it from the shoebox swap. I know I made it, but I don't remember who told me to make it. Then we colored these with the crumb cake and we used the pretty peacock background. So that's what we did in the part 1, and we used it. Believe it or not, this is wild wheat. That color there that I inked it up, it's wild wheat. It does look like a yellowish color, but it actually, when you just use it to ink it up, it's wild wheat, a lighter color. So this Hello Irresistible paper, I did a workshop series on my YouTube channel recently, and it's if you want every step of this card and the information and the handouts, this is a gift card holder card. And I also taught how to make the little envelopes, which I'm teaching again in my next workshop series as well. And there's so many different versions of this. Gift card holder. This one has a little strap on it. So this is all that Hello Irresistible paper. And I just had a few left that I wanted to share with you. This was a note card. This is a different style gift card holder. Okay, lots of fun. Another envelope and another gift card holder. So that's some examples of what to do with the Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper, which I absolutely love. So, I mean, in addition to what we just did. I mean, that completely, you'd be like, that's the same paper, right? Yes, it's the same paper. So it's just a matter of what you do with the paper. The paper, as long as you coordinate the paper and the inks together, you can use any stamp set with any paper and make it look good. I challenge you to go try that. I mean, we could make this paper look good with the new whale set. And we could use some of that. Some of this paper looks like seaweed. And we used it with the turtle set, the Hello Irresistible. because some of this looks like seaweed. So, I mean, you can make it look nautical. You can make it look other ways. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And we'll give these cards a try. I think next up we'll try something 3D-ish by decorating our little card box or our little bag or something. And that is all for now. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great evening.